everyone, Craft Director Justine here. I hope you're having a great time going through all the projects in your craft camp in a box. I know I've been having a great time doing these videos for you. So the project we're going to do today is our no-sew fleece pillows. So for this, you're going to need your 2 pieces of fleece. You're going to need a marker. I know there's not one in the kit, but you had the coffee filter flower kit, which does have markers, so you can use one of those. You're going to need some scissors, a ruler, some tape. Your tape is a much smaller little circle, so don't be looking for this, just look for a small tape, and some stuffing. Okay, the first step is to lay our fleece on top of each other. I've got my Batman fleece and my pink fleece, so you can tell them apart. They're all lined up. Now our next step is about the ruler and the marker. We're going to measure 4 inches from the edge of the fleece to the center. And we're going to do this a few places around. And at that inside 4 inches, I'm just going to make a little mark with the marker. And we're just going to do this in a couple places around the pillow. If it's not exact, it's okay. We're just trying to leave ourselves plenty of spaces on the outside to do the tie part of the pillow. Okay. And if you want your pillow to be a little bit bigger, you could also make that margin a little bit smaller. You could do 3 inches, 3.5, maybe 2.5. It's just the smaller those margins are, the more stuffing you will need. Okay, so once you have some marks down there, we're gonna take our tape and lay it across the marks so that the bulk of the tape is on the inside and the mark is on the outside of the tape. And we want those to make a whole square so we know what part not to cut. Okay, so you can see now I have the inside of my pillow marked out, and yes, the outside is much bigger than the inside. That's because we're going to need a lot of room to tie the pillow together and make a nice fringe. Now, the next step is we're going to mark out where we'll be cutting the fleece. So all around the outside, we want to make marks every inch. So an inch there, an inch there. And I'll give you a couple minutes to do this. Go all the way around the outsides, and then I'll meet you back here when you've got your pillow all marked, okay? Okay, welcome back. So hopefully, like me, you have your pillow all marked up all the way around the outside edges. Now, what we're going to do next is take our scissors, and we're going to follow those marks and cut into the outside of the tape. Just like that. We want to cut both layers at the same time. And we're going to have a ton of these little fringy strips all the way around. Now on the corners, what I'm going to do is I've got one mark right here and one mark right here from the 2 different directions, and I'm just going to cut diagonally in between the 2, but not as far in because I don't want to cut this strip off, okay? These ones will be a little bit smaller cuts. Alright, now I'm going to keep doing this all the way around the pillow, cut every diagonal, cut on the marks, right up to the tape, and we got to do this all the way around. So again, I'll give you a few minutes while I work on this and you work on yours, and I'll see you back here in a few. Okay, welcome back again. So hopefully by now you've got all of your fringes on the outside cut, and it's through both layers. So what I'm going to do next is take all of this tape off. We don't need that anymore. Now, when I made my marks, I was using a permanent marker. That's not going to come off if I throw the pillow in the washer. If you used a washable marker, it might come off, but you might want to be on the safe side and just take the one that you have all marked up and flip it over and lay these out together again. So that way all of the marker lines will be on the inside and you won't have to see them. So the next step is to put all of these pieces together. And in order to do that, we're not going to sew them. Instead, we're going to tie the two fringes. So I'm going to start on a corner. I'm going to take one of my pink fringes, one of my Batman fringes, and I'm going to just tie them together, cross them over, stick the one through the hole underneath, and just pull it nice and tight together. And to make it really secure, I'm going to do all of these as double knots. Now it's going to seem really hard to keep track of what's what and what's been used and what hasn't, but the further along you get, the easier it will be. And again, just the next two fringes, one Batman, one pink, knot them once, knot them twice, and we're going to keep going all the way around like that, except this time we're not going to do every single set. I'm going to leave 4 of them open. Okay, so that's about 4 inches. That's enough room for me to get my hand in there. We need that little hole left open so that we can put the stuffing in before we tie it shut. Okay, so take a few minutes, tie almost all the way around, but leave enough space open for you to get your hand in there and stuff the pillow. And I'll see you back here in a few. Hello and welcome back again. So now that you've taken some time and you've got your pillow beautifully fleeced around the edges, except for one small hole just big enough to get your hand in there, now it's time for the stuffing. So you're going to open up your bag, pull out your stuffing, and we're going to put in just a little bit at a time. It just goes right in the hole. You want to try and spread it out, really fill out the corners. Don't have one huge bunch in one side and then nothing in the rest of it. So take some time, spread it out. I tried to give you lots of stuffing, so if it doesn't all fit in there, that's okay. Maybe you can make another pillow. It doesn't have to be fleece. You can do this with other materials. The fleece is just nice and soft and lovely. So go ahead and get as much stuffing in there as you want. If you want it to be a big bulging pillow, you can try and get all of it in there. If you want it to be kind of thinner and just a little bit cozier, you don't have to put everything in there. So I'm going to put in probably about half of what's in the bag. And then you want to make sure you've got all of your fringes left out. Make sure they didn't get stuffed in there with the stuffing. And we're just gonna go right ahead and tie up those last few. Again, just a couple double knots along the way. Keep that stuffing right in there. It's gonna try and escape a little bit, but that's all right. Okay, last one. Knot it once, knot it twice, and you're done. You can fluff out your fringes. If you want to trim any that seem extra long, you can trim them all to be even, and you have a beautiful, lovely no-sew pillow. All right, thank you for joining me today. We'd love to see pictures of your project after you're done making it, if you're willing to share. And in the meantime, I hope you have a fine swabby-doo-dah day.